Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the No Miss podcast. I am Samsonite STG, joined by two people this time. We got the Hidden Fortress and Kirby of the Stars. How you guys doing today?
How's it going, man?
Doing good.
Not too shabby.
All right, good.
Better than last time. I'm not as sick as last time, so that's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm not like doubling over in pain this time. So yeah. So I know that me and you have only been talking for a very short time, Kirby. I know that you are friends with both Hidden Fortress and Spiders, which are two people that I follow and talk to a lot. And I know that like your whole thing that you were talking to me about being really self-conscious of is that you love shmups, but you don't have a clear.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, just I've been playing shmups since probably about 2008, and the problem is actually that I kind of love the genre almost too much in a way. It's so hard, especially with my ADHD, to just focus on one game until I get the clear. Like, I want to dip my toes in everything, not just survival, but the scoring, and I just want to engage with it all. And so I've never actually sat down and one CC'd a game. I've gotten close in some of them, but it's funny just because I think that a lot of people that play these games, myself included, see this there being some kind of cred to having a 1cc. Like, oh yeah, you don't really enjoy the genre that much, or whatever, unless you have a clear. Like, where's your clear, bro? I know that not everybody acts that way, but I don't know, just you see some of the people and the like how hard they work or how talented they are, and just like, oh man, I'm just a tourist here.
Okay, so I got something to say about that. But here's the thing about that. So like you're saying, I feel like the clear is real. Like you said, it really just comes down to like how much time you spend on the one thing. Anybody can, because the tourist thing is something that bugs me, because it's like you can clear DDP, and it's like dope. I hope you feel good about that. But then somebody can come along and be like, oh, you haven't 2-walled it, so you're a tourist. And so like to get down on anybody for any of that kind of thing is like this rabbit hole that like never ends. So like
Yeah.
if somebody really enjoys the genre and they love to play the STGs and they've never gotten a clear, I think everybody, I mean, that doesn't make you a tourist is what I'm saying. It's not really the thing.
Well, there's always a bar that can be raised, right? Like you can always be like you said, you can always be like, okay, so you've 2-alled Batsugan, but you haven't 3-alled Batsugan. Oh, so
right.
you only got 200,000 scored. You didn't get 300,000 score.
Right.
Yeah. So it's something that can always be upped. Like the goalposts can be shifted.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, like. And that's something that like I really hate to see is like other shmup players like kind of being shitty in that way to other shmup players.
Yeah.
In that respect, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that's too cool. You shouldn't be self-conscious about that is basically what I'm saying, dude. Like I think that and anybody else out there, like if anyone isn't clearing or getting some high score or whatever, like upload your personal best, upload a failed run, upload like, hey, I've been playing these 3 games this week, like. You know what I mean? Like it's not really. A lot of guys will tell you like the clear ain't shit anyway. You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of the way it is.
No. The clear, it's really like based on self like actualization, right? I know that's kind of like I don't necessarily like going here, but it does have a lot to do with why we play, right? We play because. A lot of us do because we're trying to reach like that next level, right?
But it's different for everyone. Yeah, right.
It is different for everybody. Like I know that I know that sometimes. I mean, a lot of times I'll play Rising games. I'm shit at pretty much all Rising games, but I love the way they feel and the way they look and everything else. Is just nice to like experience it, And so it's not only different player to player, but game to game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
definitely.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I can't tell you how long it took me because I started playing SCGs like seriously just a year ago, but I've played them off and on, not really seriously like my whole life. So does
Right.
that devalue the time that I've spent?
No.
In that metric, the time that I'd spent before I took
No.
them seriously. Yeah.
No, dude, I played more STGs when I wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
committing to one game for 2 months to get some, stupid clear because it was what I wanted to do. And I considered myself a hardcore shmup fan before any of that, before I even discovered like the whole scene, to be honest with you. And I wasn't like, I think there's value in just trying to play a game to beat it. Like an old, like, like console shmups are dope, dude. Like just play Einhander to beat it, man. That game's a motherfucker, dude. That game is nasty, dude. Like R-Type 3, like that is a really fun experience, and you don't have to no-miss it or two-all it or one-all it. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a lot of different levels to the shit, and I again I want to stress this, like that's not something you should be like self-conscious about, like in the space at all.
That was actually one of my favorite video ideas from you. Is you put out that video of games just to play, not to clear, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
a novel idea that you just play a game.
Yeah, I wanted to do another. I never got to do it the other one, but I was going to do another one because there was a whole other list of games. Like, dude, like just play the games to try and beat them is like a fucking fair challenge, dude. Like, what is it, Shinryu on the Saturn? They give you, I don't know, what do they give you, 7 continues? Mm-hmm. Try and beat that game with 7 continues.
It's no joke,
dude. It's yeah,
no
dude.
joke.
Like, yeah, or Hyperduel on the Saturn. Like, just beat it with the continues they give you. Like, that's a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be, a 1cc.
I feel that way with any Technosoft game. Like even like Thunder Force is like I don't ever go in knowing that I'm going to 1cc Thunder Force. It's just like a cool game to play. Or Einhander.
Yeah.
I was like 9
Game's so
years
good.
old the first time that I got Einhander, and yeah, I couldn't get past like stage 2, but it was so cool going every time, especially because I was a huge SquareSoft fanboy.
Yeah.
And it's so cool seeing such such different ideas, and the way that like shmups are built on structure, right? That they all share, and it's all like a kind of like a tower, I guess. And sometimes they go straight up, sometimes they go sideways, sometimes it's just really it's really nice. Oh, like what was that? There's another one on Saturn that Technosoft did. It's their only vertical shmup. I forgot what it's called. Blast Wind is what it's called.
Oh, yeah. I've never gotten into that, but I hear that's really good.
It's weird, dude. It's so weird. Or like,
is it?
We were talking about Angel at Dusk earlier.
Yeah.
It doesn't. They're all not the same. And I think that's one thing that starting this podcast has been like a big, like sticking point for me, is like showing people that like, yes, they might all share the same DNA, but all of these are different games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing I love to do is like Gate of Thunder is like speaking of, it's Technosoft, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gate of Thunder is like a really favorite, like one of my favorites, and it's not brute. Like the last stage is, for me, last stage is pretty nasty, but like I love to play Gate of Thunder like just all the way through. It's not that hard, but it's so much fun. Like it's just a fun shmup to play. Goji Guy just uploaded a video, and I think the whole point of his video, I don't want to speak for him, but like he just uploaded a video and it was like he did a video about a shmup for the Nintendo 64, and he's like, not a hard game, but it's a really fun game, and it's like that's another thing to it too. Like Spriggan, right, on the PC Engine, like that's not like too crazy, but it's like, man, it's a fun game, dude. I love Spriggan.
God, I gotta play my PC Engine more.
Dude.
You have one?
The PC Engine.
Yeah, I
Okay.
imported one like a year ago, and it's super cool.
Yeah.
Such a wild system that it's supposed to be 8-bit like the NES, and that thing just kicks so much ass.
Yes, it does,
Dude, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So how long have you owned an actual PC? Is it a Super CD or is it a normal one?
So I'm weird, and I specifically went for the PC Engine that links into the briefcase style CD player.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like the the core graphics version and you just slot it in. I just thought it was so cool to have that briefcase style design.
Yeah, that thing's cool. That I know the one you're talking about. That one's really sick.
I've actually never. Long story short,
I screwed up an order on Bai.com, like sponsored by Bai, where basically I went to go see how much shipping would be for this arcade stick, and so long story short, I accidentally bought it, so I have a Toho Reimu Hori arcade stick, and I was like, well, I might as well get the consoles I was looking at because it's way cheaper to just import them directly. So that's the story of why I bought a PC Engine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I always wanted a PC Engine, like not growing up, because growing up I didn't even know they existed. You know, like
Right.
I didn't even know the TurboGrafx existed growing up, and like that was around like during my time, so like I should have, you know, but it was just not huge over here like it was in Japan, and then you know not like they weren't even in like Game Pro or anything else like that I was reading, so. You know, whenever I got older and the internet and everything else, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is a PC? I was like on an emulation site one day, and I was like, what is a PC Engine? What's a PC Engine CD? What's a TurboGrafx? What is all this shit? I had an NES, a Super Nintendo, a PlayStation, all that other stuff. But like, yeah, I find it so fascinating. Like, even though I emulate 95% of what I play, I find real hardware so fascinating.
It is, yeah. And by the way, I have a bunch of real hardware, and I still emulate like fucking everything I play. The thing about real hardware is great, and it's really fascinating, but it's also kind of terrifying. Like, you know, like it's like, you know, not to be a bummer or anything, but it's like every time I put if I put a CD in my Duo, my Turbo Duo. Or what it, PC Duo, whatever the fuck it is. I'm waiting for that day when that laser assembly just stops working, and then it's like, oh, dude, that's that. You know, so often I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna play it on Mister or RetroArch. Yeah.
Right. I'm a huge original hardware believer, but for the reasons you mentioned. Like, I went out and saved up a bunch of tip money a few years ago and just blew it all on a Black Friday sale for EverDrives, and I'm like, all right, well, this is the way to go. I want to play with an original controller on a CRT, but definitely not paying $150 for I don't know, Gargoyle's Quest 2 on the NES, you know?
Yeah, no, dude, but the EverDrives are really, you know, on my channel, like I've gotten down on the whole, you know, industry side of all that, but like honestly, like the EverDrives really are like kind of amazing, and they really are kind of a godsend, especially the ones that are like that will run like the optical game. You know, like there's one for the Sega CD. You pop it into your Genesis and it'll run Sega CD games. Like like that. That's a huge fucking deal, dude. And the one for the TurboGrafx, it'll run like all the like that. That's a big deal. And but my thing was always like, it's like, dude, like everything's been figured out. No, you know, like everything's been figured out. So like, why do they keep selling like FPGA like Nintendo 64s? It's like, I don't know, but yeah. I agree with you. It's like the EverDrive is like the way to go if you're doing the real hardware thing.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
This stuff is amazing technology.
That's not to say anybody listening to this, play it however you want to play it. However you can play it is the correct way to play it.
Yeah.
I just like the. I feel like the console, like the original console's controller, has a little bit of the soul whenever you play the game.
Yes,
like,
it does.
It's weird playing a Sega Genesis game with like a PlayStation controller to me. Yes. You know, it kind of breaks my brain a little bit.
Isn't it the controller that does it though? Like for me, that is actually like you hit the nail on that. Well, the CRT, but like the controller is what does it. It's like if I was to play Gate of Thunder right now, like I would really want to play it with a PC Engine controller or a TurboGrafx controller.
Well, it's the interface between the human and the console and the actual game. So it's the interface that matters. I'm the same way. I got an M30 because I was tired of playing like Saturn games on just my plug and play PlayStation controller. You know, so like I totally get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the M30 is really close to the Sat. It's like if that's the closest. I mean, that's actually a really great controller, right? So that's pretty damn close to, a Saturn controller, or the 6-button Genesis controller for that matter.
I wish Retrobit was still outputting controllers. I don't know if they are shipping anymore currently, but their Saturn controller is basically identical to the original Saturn controller. It feels
I actually have
really
one.
good.
I actually have one.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Actually kind of like it better than the M30. The M30 is feels better. Don't get me wrong. It does feel better, but the Retrobit corded one that I have feels just like a Saturn controller. I mean, almost identical. My biggest thing has been, and I know you'll have a lot to say about this, Kirby, is I want to start collecting CRT televisions. And because like TVs have always been like the thing that I used to collect, and then I stopped for a long time and sold them all, and now I'm getting like that itch again of like actually playing on at least real displays. If I can't have the real hardware, I can at least get like a facade,
For sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So tell me a little bit about your collection.
Well, so it's just funny to think of it as a collection. I've been basically grabbing CRTs for the longest time, just because I've just loved them. I've always loved them, like well before they were now kind of more coveted in a way. A lot of people have a lot of the idea that they need to be gaming on a PVM or else you're not really gaming. You got to full RGB mod your consoles and do all this stuff. But
Yeah.
honestly, some of my favorite TVs are RF onlys where the chips are slowly falling out of their specs, and so they're kind of drifting a little bit, but they're like a nice wood grain and stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know, just every TV has value. Whichever TV you have is the TV for the job, unless you're playing, something really high resolution, like with small text. I mean, and like 480i. RF is fine. Composites, fantastic for a lot of things. And if anything, sometimes it looks, less good, to put it bluntly, if like the sharper it is, because there's no blending to those pixels.
It's true.
I don't know. Everything has their own flavor. And so it's kind of a shame. Sorry. It's kind of a shame to see the commodification of that passion when you look at, Facebook Marketplace or whatever kind of like local places you have where people are selling these. In my area, people are scooping them up for basically free and then trying to flip them for $200-$300, even if they're RF only sets. It's like, yep, this is a bajillion-dollar set. I know what I have. I don't know. I definitely frown upon that. And even if I have a decent amount of CRTs myself, each one definitely has been put through its paces, and I kind of love them all. They're all my children.
Yeah.
Those things have lived a lifetime, like,
oh yeah.
So I mean, there's always a story behind them. It's almost like, at least the way I think about it, and this is really weird, but it's almost like they're little like beings almost.
Yeah, they all have so much personality, especially with the different ways that they display. It's never quite the same between each one.
Yeah, it's funny what you said about like every TV has its place, and like people will come here to my place and they'll look around and be like, "Why do you have like so many fucking televisions?" And I'm like, "Because this is the TV I use to watch movies. This is the TV I use to play modern games. This is the TV I use to play old games. This is the TV." You know what I mean? And it's like, they look at me like I'm a crazy person, and I'm like, I'm a crazy person. But it's true. It's like so much of this stuff. It's really good at this one thing, maybe not the best at this other thing, and that's kind of how I've always like sort of seen it. But like, yeah, I agree with you. Like every TV sort of has its place, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I've got a professional broadcast monitor I bought myself, and despite me having it, I watched all of the 1979 original Gundam series on just a tiny itty bitty little Mitsubishi over RF, just a little 13-inch wood grain. I'm like, This is the way to go.
If you're
That's
not
sick.
if you're not careful, I will turn this podcast into a Gundam podcast. Okay.
Don't tempt me, man.
I don't know. Most of y'all have not seen this, but I have Amuro Ray's unicorn from Charles Counterattack on my hand. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I'm a huge Gundam fan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That was my first watch. Haven't seen any of the other ones.
Oh man, yeah, you got a long road ahead of you. I used to be when I was a kid, stopped watching it for forever, and then started building the models. And that was actually like before I got into making videos. That was my hobby, was building model kits.
Oh, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you make videos?
Oh yeah, news to me. Wait, what?
Dude, those models are
messing.
sick as fuck, though, dude. That's actually really cool, bro.
I think
cool.
I think the most I've spent on a model is about $600-700 for one model.
Damn.
And it was
God damn.
the size of my desk.
That's badass, though, dude.
I'll send you the name of it or like in the group chat. It's called the Orchid Dendrobium, and it had a Gundam that sat inside of it, and it was like a war like battle cruiser. And
that's so cool.
I had one perfect grade that was about the size of my torso, and that took about 2 weeks every day of building. It had like real metal parts in it and everything. I mean, it is
Wow.
not only a time sink, but a money sink too. And then it actually, bringing it back around, is a lot like what we talk about all the time, where you put so much time and effort into it, and then it ends up being a shelf piece, and you never mess with it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like hunting down like a copy of Musha.
Yeah, actually,
Or
a
something,
lot like
dude.
that.
And then you're like, I don't ever want to put this in a fucking game system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once you realize that chase is over, you're like, what am I gonna do with this thing?
When I was game collecting, that was the funnest part, was like getting to like the swap meet at 5 a.m.
Yes.
Because it was exciting because you didn't know what you were gonna find. And it was like, ooh, what am I gonna find? A box of Genesis games? Ooh. Nope. I just like so many times I went there and nothing. I would find nothing.
Am I gonna find Earthbound for not $900?
I would flip that. So, dude, if I found an Earthbound, I would sell that fucker so fast. I'm letting you both know that right now.
$1,800 on the used market right now, or something
I would
ridiculous.
sell that
really?
game so fast.
Last time I checked was like 3 years ago. So, I mean,
crap.
It was one. I had an original copy. It is one of my favorite games ever. And
do you still have it?
No, I don't. I was a snot-nosed little 7-year-old when I got it, and I messed up like the scratch and sniff like book and everything, because apparently Americans are too stupid to play a RPG without a hint book. So it came with a big hint book, and man, if I still had it, I would be living in a mansion right now.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Dude, I had Snatcher. When I was a kid for the Sega CD, which is like one of Kojima's early games. Snatcher.
Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My ear would have perked up if you could see him from underneath the headphones. Like,
I had it for Sega CD when I was a kid. I was like in 8th grade, and then I sold it. Like, I brought it back to Game Dude, which is like this big video game store in LA, and I like traded it in, and like all of a sudden I had like all this trade-in money, and I was like, that's
wait,
cool.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and then and nowadays it's like, how much is a Snatcher? It's like $1,500.
It's
like,
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't like visual novels, but I love Snatcher.
Snatcher's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah,
I gotta play that shit. I'm always looking to see the uncensored one where you can actually see titties, though. So I'm like, I don't know which version to play.
So.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. What's crazy is the American version is not censored by much. It's actually the Japanese version that's censored.
Really?
Yeah. Like
so interesting when that happens.
There's a character in there called like Jean-Jacques Gibson or something like that. And he gets decapitated at one point, and like the way that the Sega CD version just shows his body, and it's like all fucking mangled and fucked up, and his guts are out and everything. Yeah, put your kids to bed if you're watching this with children, and which you shouldn't be, but hey, to each his own. But the PlayStation version like shows it for a second and then cuts up. And that's the Japanese version. The PlayStation version never came out over here. So,
interesting. Didn't know that.
yeah. Now, titties, on the other hand, there might be more in the in the Japanese version,
Right.
of how there's this weird hatred towards nudity in America. I mean, it's a little bit better now, but not by much. But
Makes me
violence
think
is
of
okay.
the Resident Evil 4's censorship. In Japan, Ashley has jiggle physics, but there's no decapitations from the Dr. Salvadors. The US version, they're like, well, those jiggle physics, they're out, but you guys get so much blood.
Yeah, like they come to panty shots and everything. Like, I do get it. I do understand. I don't agree with it, but I do understand.
It's just really interesting the way that those things are balanced.
Mm-hmm. So bring it back around. So where do you find your CRT televisions?
So
if you don't want to give away your secrets, I get it, but
well, it used to be just, the usual places, local marketplaces, Facebook Marketplace or whatever have you. But I install home theater systems professionally. Okay. And so every once in a while, I'll have a client that is like, oh, yeah, I put this RF only set in this room, and I haven't used it ever in 30 years, and I want it gone, so take it if you want it.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I know that's not the best way that everybody gets them, but I've at least got 2 sets that they're like, yeah, I used it for about 3 days, and then I never went in this office again.
Oh, that's sick.
Crazy. That's crazy to meet somebody would. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, then just kind of keep your eyes peeled. Things are pretty screwy right now. Facebook Marketplace, everybody's trying to flip them, trying to make whatever quick profit they can off of them. I've actually got a listing a listing in my local area warning against the people that are flipping them. And like, hey, if you buy it from these guys, they're just trying to rip you off.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow,
I don't know.
Scalpers.
Just patience, really. And again, every TV is a good TV, provided a couple hasn't used it as their main driver for the last 25 years and it's, completely burnt out, then whatever it is, you guys are good.
Well, and those, go ahead.
Sorry, CRTs seem to last a long time, and like I want to ask you this, Kirby, because you might know something about this, and because this comes from my own nightmares, because I absolutely love my CRTs. They seem to last a long time, dude. And like sometimes I'm worried to turn on my Trinitron or my whatever. But like I feel like it's gonna last my lifetime. I feel like if you just take care of them and like you make sure that they're not, overheating and you only like turn them on when you use them, I feel like they're gonna be around for a while.
Oh, for sure. The real secret is keep your contrast low. Sometimes it's red as picture on the TV. Right. You just keep that to a low enough level where you're like, hey, I can still see this comfortably, and it will increase the life of the tube dramatically.
Okay. That's good. That's actually really good to know. Because, I would be really heartbroken if even one of these things just like died one day. And, like none of my sets really have like perfect geometry or any of that shit. And I always tell people like, fuck that. Like, you make yourself crazy with that shit, dude. Like, just play games and enjoy it on these things, Like, I don't need it to be perfect. In fact, it's the character that they have is what makes it so cool.
I was going to say that.
I completely agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because once the tube dies, it's just toast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just about. Some people have new old stock hidden in a warehouse for, somewhere, but the cost of said tube is going to be basically if you just love that set to death, and it's the only way it's going to make it worth it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely into tuning up and hopefully soon repairing TVs. I have no qualms with getting inside and adjusting like the yoke and
really?
potentiometers inside.
That's
and stuff
crazy,
like that. Oh yeah,
man.
I love that.
Oh, dude, I might need you someday.
Pan reached out to me. He was actually in the middle of his stream, and he's like, "Oh, hey, are you going to Shmup Slam? Like, me and some of the guys around here, we're all gonna go to Shmup Slam, and you can come share a hotel with us."
That's
and
awesome.
I was
That's
so
sick.
touched. I was like, I have never felt more included. And then you guys hit me up for a podcast, and I'm like, you know what? I think I need to start making videos because
hell yeah,
it's the least I can do for the rest of the community. Because you guys definitely inspire me to just put myself out there, no matter what's coming out.
That's so cool to hear, man. Thank you for saying that.
Well,
and shout out to Pan.
Yeah,
Dude,
shout
Pan's
out to fucking Pan, dude.
Pan's
Shout
the
out to
homie,
Pan.
dude, for
Dude's
sure.
a homie, man.
Yeah, that is, I think, the thing that I love the most about this community is I've never met a group of people that are so fucking just awesome in every single way and so supportive. Like a lot of communities are like they want to work against you because they see you as like a threat, or they see you as like, you're not worth shit. And this community is like, no, what can I do to help you? What you want me to fly up there? You want to share a hotel? You want to do a collaboration? Like it actually kind of shocked me at first, honestly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing that like freaked me out. I thought I was gonna get, when I uploaded my first video, I thought I was gonna get torched. And people were like so nice. They were like, "Welcome aboard!" Like, "Oh yeah, like right on, man!" Like, all this stuff, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll make another video. Why not?" And like people are generally really, really, really cool. There's always like bad apples or whatever, but like generally, people are just so freaking cool. Dude, a funny story about like one day I was trying to clear Hyperduel and I didn't. Someday I'll go back to Hyperduel, but like I reached out to Pan once and I was like, "Say man, do you know, is there like a route, like is there like what's the easiest way to kill the final boss in Hyperduel, because it's hard." And Pan was like, "I'll look at it tonight." And I'm like, "Thanks, bro." And then he got back to me and he was basically like, "You just gotta fucking dodge it." And I'm like, "Oh god, Jesus Christ!"
I wanted a trick, dude. I didn't want to just be like,
yeah,
you just gotta be good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, he was like, "It's pretty nasty." And I'm like, "Well, if you think it's nasty, fuck this, dude. I don't got that."
I need to ask him about Ibara, dude. Because like, me and Hidden Fortress have been talking about that a lot. We want to start trying to get beat Kuro, like the arranged version of it. Yeah, dude. And like every video I see is like all about like boss milking and shit. No, I just want a good survival clear of Ibara. I don't want to know about like all the fucking crazy. I'm never gonna be Jamer, or if I am gonna be Jamers, I'm gonna be fucking 65 by the time I am. Of playing shmups every day. So I'm gonna ask him about that, because so I know you said you had been into shmups since 2008. What was the game that got you into shmups, or how did you get into shmups?
I was going to go over this on my channel at some point because I really want to make a video just about the 360. But basically, I was playing Shadowrun at the time on the Xbox 360, and one of the players on there that kicked my ass had a cute anime girl as his profile picture. And I'm like, you know what? I want to find out where that's from. That's cute as hell. Turns out it was from Triggerheart Exelica, the arcade release on the Xbox Live Arcade. And I was like, oh, go try this out. And I downloaded a demo for it. And I just became enthralled with just the feeling of dodging bullets. I was like, there's so many things on screen right now. And this is a kind of challenge that I've just never seen. It just makes you feel so cool when you do things. And so that was the first one I downloaded. And that's the one that I aim to clear first. So I've just been playing off and on ever since then, and really revamped it up and found Mark's channel in 2020. And I've been keeping my ear on the pulse now and hanging out with the homies and seeing the channels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Triggerheart Exelica, that's the one where you're a cute ship anime girl, and you like have the grappling hook, right? That like shoots out, and you can grab the enemies and kind of throw them around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's got some incredibly unique like mechanics in it. Like,
it does.
Yeah.
And the problem is that it was really, really bad at teaching me shmup fundamentals because of it. So I'm like ruined for life in some ways, which might be why I don't have any clears. But that whole anchor system where you can grapple onto enemies and throw them, it's very interesting for score and for navigating through the bosses and things like that, because occasionally a boss will spit out things that you can anchor and stuff like that. But I think that's what I love the most about it, though, is when you are in those boss fights, for the most part, you're just raw dodging. And so all of a sudden now you have to get better at, understanding patterns and things like that. But again, it's a really weird game where it doesn't have a lot of the same mechanics of, oh yeah, if I hang out on the left side, I can kind of guide these aimed bullets off screen and do that. Honestly, it's like this is a mostly static pattern, and there's just a little bit of random elements all the time. And so it made me fall in love with the art of just flying by the seat of my pants and just having a every run be slightly different, because you can't quite route it the same each time.
That's cool that you can kind of like see that deep into it though, and understand that, like that it doesn't take you actually getting clears to be able to understand like routing or bullet patterns or like
exactly.
Yeah.
It definitely helps that I started watching a lot of Pan streams, so just seeing his methodology and the way that he talks about it, I'm like, oh, my third eye is opened. Maybe I should actually try to do this. I've always been super stubborn with my clears, like, oh, I got to go figure it out on my own, and I'm not going to look at replays because that feels like spoiling it, and blah blah blah. He kind of inspired me, and the moment I went to go look it up, I was like, oh, everybody bombs this pattern 3 times. Every single run bombs this stupid pattern that I've been having trouble with, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess there's no magic trick. It's just you bomb it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you still feel
that was a bummer?
Do you still feel that way about replays?
Yes and no. I mean, I like the idea. Like Spider's video, his soft start video, kind of made me feel like when he talks about the leaderboard, that every name above you is a hand reaching down. Mm-hmm. Kind of made me realize, like, hey, it's okay if you look at all these routes and if you do all these things, because everybody's kind of building off of each other.
Yeah.
It isn't always one guy just finds the best way and everybody has to do that way. Because, especially for the difference between score and survival, because your run's going to look entirely different. Mm-hmm. So,
right.
I'm probably still a stubborn ass, but I'm definitely warming up to it.
Yeah, I once called shmups a team sport. That probably rubbed some people the wrong way, but like it really kind of is, dude. Like it's really like I reach out all the time, like, hey guy, like how do you do that? Like I used to upload the failed runs because literally I was like, help, what am I doing wrong? Help, and then people would give me like really great advice from that, and it was like everybody's helping each other. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is kind of collaborative, even though we all are like our own little islands. We all do come together, whether it be for a game or but it's like we don't realize it, right? We don't realize that we're going and kind of cherry picking each individual thing from everyone and then making our own thing with it. I the way I feel about replays is kind of complicated. I don't like watching replays for information. I like watching replays for entertainment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So like, me and Pan have talked about this before. Me and you have talked about this before, where it's like the high drama of it all.
I love it.
Can be, he made a comment on my video that was like, yeah, I loved the just barely scraping by or something, and I was like, yeah. Because you can feel it in the moment, and you're like, is this translating? And then it does. It really does. You can feel like the frustration and the excitement and everything else that's behind, your character.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? And I've been thinking about this because of everything we're talking about. Because I always say, like, I love a run with like a lot of drama, like an early death, and then it's like, oh no, like is this guy gonna? But the title, it says 1-all. The title, it says 1cc, so it's like you still know that they're gonna make it, but it's still really exciting to watch it. But like, wouldn't it be interesting if it was just like 1-all question mark?
It's a twist.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And then it's just like this run where like you barely make it. Like, would that make it more? Would that make it better? I wonder.
So I actually had an idea about that was inspired by all of your failed run attempts, because yeah, it does give it away in the title. It's like, all right, here it is.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make a series called the 1cc obituaries, where it's like it's still an obituary if your run dies, of course, because it's like, yep, this is the eulogy for that. But you can still call it that if it's like, hey, the run's finally over, like it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And so it
Right.
keeps it in this vague, vague kind of gray area where you can kind of play with the verbiage and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
So that's why I don't title my videos that way, because I think it's like expected that you're going to clear the run, but I think the last one that I titled that way was my Xanac video, and then I was just like, like I'm not even worried about promoting this or anything. It's just I'm looking at this title and it's just fucking gobbledygook. It's like the name of the game, the 1cc. The name of the ship, it's a type A, the string, and then just a bunch of fucking numbers, like, you know what I mean? And so it looks like I would have more entertainment reading a dictionary, So like, who in their right minds, other than shmup players, would click on that? Who would want to click on that? Even a shmup player.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so if I haven't played Toho 14. And you give me a number in the quadrillions, does that mean anything to me?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think that was something that caught my eye about one of Neon Dagger's videos. Is he has a black Dio Joe Black Label run where it says failed run turns into like a 1cc rampage, where he just gets pissed and he's like, all right, fuck this, and then he just beats the game.
That's fucking awesome.
I think that there's a way to kind of title your wins and your losses in a way that kind of chronicles the journey a little bit, makes it a little bit more interesting to the eye.
Yeah, I think my Ketsui title was like Ketsui won all, and then it was like mistakes were made, because it was so like, I barely, like, it was fucked. It was just like, whatever, like, fuck it, But like, again, it's like, some of the most interesting, frankly, like, commentary videos that I've seen, like, where people are like just talking over gameplay, aren't full on one all, runs. The developer of Stellar Fury has like a few on his channel that are like rather profound, where he's just playing a game and just talking about life and like his feelings and like why he's playing that game, and and he's not clearing it, but he's just like fucking going on and on about like, yeah man, like this is why I play these games and this, that, and everything. It's really interesting. And that's actually how I became friends with him, was because like he kind of, it sounds lame to say it, but like he touched me with his commentary.
That's not lame, man.
I want to talk
really
to this
not.
guy, and then furthermore, it was like Spiders was like, you should play his game, it's really good, and I was like, really? And then I played his game and I was like, this is one of my favorite games ever made, and so that was really cool. But yeah.
I remember I was on Reddit, and this is just a little side story, but I was posting about how Softstar had kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and so one of the guys on there was like, what did you not like about Softstar? And so I remembered who he was, and I was like, oh my god, it's the fucking developer of Softstar.
Oh shit!
and he was trying to get me.
So great.
He was trying to get me, and I was like, bro, like your game is really cool. I'm just like not into it all the way, but like I'm not dissing your game. And he was like, damn it, man, I thought you wouldn't recognize me or something like that. I was like, oh my god, dude.
That's so cool.
It was
like, that's so cool.
It was really cool. He was so respectful, because he was like taking in that aspect of like, listen, like your game is awesome. I just personally don't like it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most people would freak the fuck
really
out.
wrong with that.
Yeah. Most people would freak, or like most developers that other developers that I've the few that I've been in or heard of or been in contact with through that would freak out over that and be like, what's wrong with my game? Why don't you like my game? But I know Banana Bites, that person in particular, like the lead designer, was so fucking cool. and was like, okay. And then now Shin Sofstar is coming out, and I can't wait for it because like that breeds like trust in my opinion.
Is that a sequel?
It's like an updated version that got announced a couple days ago.
I guess I was right to hold off because I was waiting. So
yeah, I mean, I'll play that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now Spiders is going to have to drop a new favorite video for me to watch.
Yeah. I think it's almost like I wouldn't expect like a brand new game. I think it's more like a Super Street Fighter Turbo EX than it is like, you know, a Street Fighter Alpha 3 or, you know, Third Strike or something.
Yeah.
Blue Revolver double action kind of thing or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a great game too. That fucking game is so cool.
I gotta play that shit some more. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you haven't put a lot of time in it.
I put a good amount in, but again, it's just one of those things where I just vanish off the face of the earth and go find more things to play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've always said that's the hardest thing about, like, if you really wanted to get it clear, the hardest thing really about it is committing to the one game for long enough to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because there's so many good fucking
better.
games. There's so many good fucking games to play, dude. You know.
There's so many.
Yeah.
Well, it comes down to like you said, committing to that aspect of like, I'm just gonna sit here, and even if it becomes not fun, like I'm gonna keep doing it. But there is like a line that I have to draw where it's like, okay, if this is not fun anymore, then why am I doing it?
Well, okay, so what I usually take breaks. Like what'll happen is like I'll be like, I'm just not gonna, for like 3 or 4 days. It's like, well, I'm just not gonna play Garega or something, and I'll go play something else. And then usually when I come back after 3 or 4 days, it's fresh all of a sudden, and it's like really great again.
Yeah.
That's normally how it works. If it doesn't, I end up bouncing off it. Maybe I come back months later. Like that's kind of what happened with Ray Force. Like I was playing Ray Force like a lot, and then like that game is fucked up, like more so than I thought. And then I stopped playing it for like months because I wasn't really enjoying it anymore. I came back and I was like, man, this game's fun. And then I just ended up playing it till I think I got lucky, like cleared it. But yeah, take breaks. That's the key.
I think I kind of missaid though, because I said when a game stops becoming fun. I mean when you stop enjoying a game, because like especially when you're like score chasing, it stopped being fun a long time ago, right? You know, like if you're beating it into, but you're still enjoying it because it's like it's so weird to describe, because you're not like sitting down like playing with a toy train, but it's knowing that like you got to get it to the station because that station is the payoff, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I dig. I see what you're saying. I can dig that. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I think that the moment that something stops being fun, the reason why you're doing it becomes immediately important, because if it's not fun, it becomes work. And it's not fun to, I mean, it's probably not healthy to play a game for work, because then you're not really playing, you're just working. Right. And so that's where you got to figure out how to draw the line, is how much am I actually enjoying this? And I don't know. I definitely get that. And that's what I love about your views on it, The Hidden Fortress, just because I take the whole like, oh yeah, I actually don't get mad at these games. Like if I'm not getting, stomped, what did I expect? And I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you do get mad, it's like, all right, well, what am I doing this for? Just step away.
Walk away. And normally like that's when I will take a break for like at least a night or like 2 or 3 nights. I come back and it's not only do I play better, but I'm actually having more fun again all of a sudden. Esperade was the one that fucking set me off. I really lost my shit one night playing Esperade. Like, I think I told that story on my, like, I got really close to killing the last boss, and I was like, okay. And then it happened again, and I was like, okay. And then it happened the third time, and I was like, son of a bitch. And then I did a run right after the third time it happened, and I got hit in stage 3, and I was just like I don't scream or yell or throw things, but I just sat there quietly, like, livid. And I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done, dude. And like I didn't play it for like 3 days, and then came back and it was fun again. But like, yeah, I just walk away.
I make it sound like I got stabbed. honestly. Whenever I get hit and
You're
something,
all,
yeah.
yeah, dude.
I did that earlier. I died in like the fifth level of Mushihime-sama, and I guarantee you, if you were standing outside my door of my apartment, it would have sounded like I got knifed in the stomach. Like
Sam has gotten me into Futari, and that is a
Dude, it's so good.
It's so good. I never played it before until the other day, and Sam got me into it, and I'm just like, this game is sick.
Yeah, it's kind of a son of a bitch to set up. So he was like, "Man, can you either tell me or hook me up with this?" Because like I was having even I was having trouble with it because I don't have a powerful computer. So like the one that was set up on the Internet Archive was like old, and the Zinnia that it was working kind of like running on didn't work so well. So I like had to get it all on myself and set up the Black Label DLC, and that was a fucking pain in the ass. But then like the newer version of Canary works really like amazingly, like perfectly well with it. And so I just like sent him over a Google Drive of like all my shit, and I didn't know it would actually like keep the save files and stuff. So he was like, "I have all your replays."
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was like 340 million or 320 million. 340 million, I think, is your high score or something.
Mm, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that's pretty gnarly. Yeah, it's to me, it's fucking gnarly. I was like, oh shit.
Dude, I fucked so bad that last boss up, though. I need to go back to that.
Mm.
So you play Futari, Kirby?
Yeah. Basically, if there's a 360 port, I more than likely have it. That's what kind of introduced me to all this. And so when Death Smiles came out, I was like, oh, I definitely need more of this. And ended up getting Escalada 2 and Mushi and everything. And now they're all crazy priced, but I got them when they were, platinum hits and crap like that long time ago. So at some point, I'd really like to encourage people that end up hopefully watching any of my shit that they have these games, or if they have like a hacked Xbox or something, just hop online, just add each other, and then we can all just see whoever's playing what at any given time. Because I think that it's cool that Discord kind of does stuff like that, but I just kind of miss that experience of just hopping on to go practice, and you're like, oh yeah, look, this crazy guy at the top of the leaderboards from Japan is online, and I sent him a friend request and he's still here. And I just think it'd be cool to have everybody kind of playing the same thing and hamming it out like the old days.
That's one thing that Discord does very well. And don't the leaderboards still work in a couple of those?
Basically all of them, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I know Mushi's still are up.
I heard somebody say that like a couple months ago, and that blew my fucking mind.
Some of them they have reset over time, and so I'm like, I don't remember, but I think I'm like number 5 for Trigger Hard Exelica right now, or something stupid like that. I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna try to dethrone Neo Stray Cat, a guy that I see at the top of the leaderboards, and he also has like posts about the game on Steam and stuff. I'm like, okay, this guy still plays, so I'm like, I should message this guy sometime.
I'm really hoping that those get releases, especially with the fact that Cave is now like, starting to actually put money back into console, like home development. I'm praying that we get like a Futari port on Steam or the consoles. And then they have active leaderboards like that. That way you can do stuff like that, and you can be like, okay, because I know they allow you to see like replays and stuff, and even if they're like linked to the Steam account or to the PlayStation account or whatever, because I really love that idea, because it enforces, just like we were talking about just a minute ago, no boundaries on community. That you can go in there and you can add a friend. You can be like, hey, it's fucking cool that you're number 1, man. Want to chill? That's awesome.
Yeah.
What I really hope for is that more developers have cross-platform leaderboards. So it's really cool that the M2 ports are on the Switch and on the PS4, but it's like, oh yeah, my Switch is a little bit laggier, but the PS4 version has like all the people that are playing it for real, but I prefer to play on my Switch or something, you know? It's like I would really like to see what other people are cooking up or what kind of scores they're getting or what kind of replays are out there, but not really as accessible.
Yeah.
It sucks to have to use external like score sites to set up.
Yeah.
It really does. Even though I do want to shout out Restart Syndrome right here. Whoever's not using Restart Syndrome should be using it because it's super like slick, super easy to use, super easy to get on and edit your score and submit and everything else, and even add new games. Like bro is like available to like email and add. Like every second that I can get, I will shill for Restart Syndrome. But it does suck that like leaderboards are stuck on certain platforms where they won't. You'll think you're number one, but then it's like, over on Switch 2, it's there's like another 500 more people that you can't see because it's not cross pollinated.
Yeah, Sam's always telling me about Restart Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go check it out sometime.
Going there. Yeah, I'm guilty of not.
I don't exactly score very high since I never complete my runs.
My scores always suck too. I'm trying to be better with score, and I think a lot of that has to do with Sam. But like, yeah, my scores are always.
Well, here's the thing. I'm like 77th in Batrider. Okay, like whenever I put my score in for Armed Police Batrider, it was like you are 76 as 77, and I was like, you know what? I'll fucking take it. Like I
still though. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
rad.
I got the clear, which is weird. Like how some games I'm like, no, that's not good enough, and then other games I'm like, that's good enough.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I feel the same way. We were just talking about that. I feel the same way about that.
I keep telling Hidden Fortress, that I'm gonna upload my Batrider clear, and I'm like, I guarantee you scored higher than me because of how much I suck.
No!
I suck at this game, and you're like,
doubt it,
dude, I doubt it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did. And then we just get to like this big circle of fighting about.
I have to look. I didn't pick up a single medal. I was terrified. I was terrified of the medals, dude. I didn't pick up because Hazy made that video and he was like, rank doesn't matter in the normal mode clear, and I'm like, the fuck it does. Like every time I got to the end, it was just like so vicious, and I was just afraid to like touch medals or I don't know. I'm going to upload it soon. It's gonna be part of.
Yagawa games are crazy that way.
Yeah.
I've been too scared to mess with them.
Yeah, dude, they're intimidating as shit.
So like when you think of Yagawa games, what's the first thing you think of?
Ibara, just because that's the first one I knew about, and then everybody talks about Battle Gorega.
But like what aspect is the first thing?
Weird mechanics, like hidden mechanics.
All right. That's crazy that Ibara was the first one you heard of. I'm really interested to hear that.
Yeah, that jumped out at me.
It's just because it's weird. Like, it only had one home port, which was for the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started getting into STGs when I was younger, my brain didn't know anything about emulation. I didn't even consider that. And when I did, I didn't even think about the arcade. Like, I literally emulated Donpachi for the very first time by tateing my mom's work laptop, but I was emulating the Saturn port of it, so it was just layer upon layer of sinning all at the same time.
Real slow, because real inaccurate.
I just didn't know any better. So yeah, I found Ibara that way, just looking at just Cave's library after finding out that I liked Bullet Hell a lot, and I'm like, oh man, the art style is so pretty. It's like, it's gothic, it's got cute girls, it's basically all the things that Death Smiles ended up kind of becoming. And I was like, man, this game's just so cool. I gotta play it sometime. And so even though I haven't played it yet, when I used to close at my old job, I would just play Ibara's OST just on my headphones while I washed dishes in the back.
It's so
good.
It's so good.
It is really good. That's a cool sound.
Yeah, the Sega CD was rough. Like, for some reason, I just had awful nostalgia to renting one, because I was like, it's either a Sega CD or I'm gonna save my money for the PlayStation when it comes out. And
there's a handful of games on the Sega CD that are kind of dope, but like for the most part, it's like this is. I made a video once where I was like, take a look at the Sega CD. Like, this is where video games started to go bad.
This is where dreams go to die. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, because like the games became like more video than game, where it was all about like the like the spectacle of the thing. It's like, look, it does full motion video, but the game sucks.
Make my video with Marky Mark.
Oh God, why was that happening? Why is this happening?
It's okay. When it comes to spectacle being the main feature, luckily history doesn't repeat itself. So,
right.
Right. Wait, was that sardonic?
No.
Okay. I was like, especially with games being like following this weird trend of, I mean, me and Chris brought it up last time, where games like The Last of Us are very much, I'm not saying all games are like this or all games are going to be like this, but there's this huge push within about the past. I really think that games like Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger and a lot of games that started on the Super Nintendo kind of brought this, where they're like, okay, good video game stories can be told with good gameplay. And then somewhere that the like balance is off, where it's like, and I'm not talking about Metal Gear or anything where it's like, okay, where there's a lot of cutscenes, but then there's less game, but like the integration of the importance of shitty game mechanics or game mechanics that are like just very base level. Because like Metal Gear 2 has amazing game mechanics when 90% of that game is cinematics, but where the story and the framing and the actors are more important than, especially when it's supposed to be an interactive medium, and you're telling me that if you took the story out of Metal Gear, it'd still be a good game. If you took the story out of The Last of Us, would it be a good game?
Not as good. Not as good. It's a fun game to play. I think it's cool that it has hardcore mode, and I've never tried to do that, but like The Last of Us does its story shit very, very good.
Or like God of War is another good one, where it's where it's like you can see, like, if you were put in an arena as Kratos and all you did was play, it didn't tell you anything about the story, it didn't tell you anything else. Even going back to the PS3, Uncharted. Sorry to be picking on Naughty Dog, but that's kind of a big culprit here. Is like if you were just thrown into an arena as Nathan Drake, you were told nothing and just had to play the gameplay sections, not the sections where you're on rails or anything else, but the gameplay sections where you're running around, taking cover, shooting guys. Would it be a 9 out of 10?
No. I don't think personally. I don't think so. I think that stuff is pretty generic as far as the gameplay goes.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. I don't mean to like push you guys into anything,
No. This is something that I made a video about it, and specifically like poked like through a rocket Uncharted and was like, dude, like this is just a spectacle. Like there's like this massive, beautiful chase sequence that's happening, and it's like it's really fucking wild. And then you realize like you've put like 6 inputs in during this entire sequence, and it's like I'm not really doing it. I'm being fooled into thinking I'm doing like this really cool stuff.
Would this be better as a movie? Is really when I'm like, I need to put the controller down,
Yeah. Well, but I think that's the thing, is that games wanted to be more like movies, and movies wanted to be more like games at some point. And where did they meet? At The Last of Us? I don't know.
But let's go back, because this actually accidentally became a really good circle, right? Snatcher. We were talking about visual novels.
Why does Snatcher work better? I think because Snatcher is less. Okay. Snatcher is less the spectacle, right? Maybe
it's more concentrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with both of you. Yeah. Okay. So
that's interesting.
So it being an adventure game, and the mechanics of the adventure game complement the story being told. That the adventure game parts would still be fun even if you took out the whole story. That's what we're saying? Or that it
In Snatcher?
or that it complements a good balance between the two. Yes, in Snatcher.
I suppose so. I don't know. Snatcher is point and click adventure game. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a point and click. I thought it was mostly just visual novel. I haven't played it.
It's very weird. So it has 4 different gameplay styles because it's Hideo Kojima, and you can't your ADHD game making. So it does have visual novels. You're clicking through, you're reading, but then it's got a lot of choice to it, where it's like, do you want to investigate this? Do you want to investigate that? And you have like the little dial. I'm pointing up to my screen like you guys can see, but you have like the little dialogue options, like here, 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 and then you click and you go do that thing or whatever, talk to that person. But then there's also point and click segments too, where it's like you're trying to find different items. But then it also has shooting segments too. And then it also, I mean, it's crazy.
I think for me, the reason why I look at, and mind you, I have not played Snatcher since like 8th grade, but I think for me, when I think about Snatcher and I'm like, and I don't attack Snatcher the same way I would sort of maybe shit talk like an Uncharted, is probably because like it's just less is more.
Yeah.
I don't think Snatcher is like as big a spectacle as Uncharted is, whereas like you know what I mean, like Uncharted is like really like trying to be a motion picture. It's trying to be Indiana Jones or something, whereas Snatcher's trying to be Blade Runner, but it's still, it's like I don't know, it's you know what I mean though, like you
like it's
more of a
literally
comic
trying to
book.
be Blade Runner. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it is like more of a comic book than, I don't know. That's a really good point that you bring that up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have like warm and fuzzy nostalgic feelings for Snatcher because I haven't played it in so long. But like I when I think about Snatcher, I'm like, you know what's so cool about, or Police Knots or something like that. It's like, what's so cool about it is that it's like, it's kind of like anime. It's like a Japanese comic book that you play. You know, I don't know. Like, could I play through Snatcher right now and have a really good time? I actually don't know.
I think you could. I really,
think so?
I really do think you could, because it's so good at lulling you into a false sense of like, it's something that not a whole lot of visual novels do, where it makes you think that this is going to be mostly a passive experience, and then it's anything but, because it takes so many elements of like old PC 98 games. Actually, it originally was on the either Sharp or PC or PC 88. Like it was originally like, I think 1989 or 1990 or something. Like, it was old. Now, I might be getting some of this information incorrect. So when this is posted and they could come at the comments to me and they're like, "Oh, you're fucking wrong." Yeah, I know I probably am, but
say some wrong shit for engagement.
Yeah, exactly. You sit there, and especially on the Sega CD version, you watch that opening cinematic, and you're like, okay, I'm being teleported into this world, and then especially kind of going back to it after Hideo Kojima has kind of like grown, and you've experienced Metal Gear 2. And all these other ones, and you go back and you're like, okay, I know the switch is going to be somewhere. And it's right there at the very beginning, where you have been fooled into playing an old school graphic adventure.
Interesting.
Something I wanted to say about what the difference is between Uncharted and Snatcher would be, in terms of the feeling, is even though there is spectacle, I think that the disappointment comes from... like in the modern version, comes from a lack of respect for player agency in a way. So what I mean by that is, it sounds like from what you describe Snatcher as, is that there's a lot of choice in the way that you steer the story, in a way where, you might not be fully interacting with the game. It is telling you a story after all, but you are actively participating in it. Whereas with Uncharted, everything is scripted. Like out of like some quick time events, this is all you get. And I have to say, on a personal note, my biggest beef in all of modern gaming is walk and talk sections.
Oh my god!
This idea that you have to just be slightly faster than an NPC, so you have to kind of hold the stick halfway and not lag behind, or that you can't actually interact with anything. You just turn the camera and somebody dumps exposition on you that doesn't build the world. It doesn't do anything. It could have been a cutscene anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's uninteresting all the way around. But the worst part is, and the cherry on top is, it insults your agency as a player. I have to sit here and hold this stick forward. I am just subjected to this for who knows how long.
Right.
And I think that with Snatcher, there wouldn't be any of that. It's, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, and you go through the story.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's true. There's stuff you can miss. I know that it's especially for a graphic adventure, it is very modular in that way. You bring up an amazing point, by the way, and very eloquently said. When was the first time you noticed that being done as like a gameplay device?
The last time that I saw it is I played the demo to whatever the sequel was to Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Wilds, I think it was.
Yeah.
I played the demo for a little bit with my friend, and it I think the demo had a walk and talk section where you're just running around on whatever monster you're riding on. And I talked to my friend about it a few weeks later, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going on." And I'm like, "What? Where are we now? Where I just basically go on a quest and I go do the quest, and now I've got to go and sit through an NPC talk about a bunch of things while I have to go eat up some spectacle for a story that it's Monster Hunter. You're gonna bonk a big lizard. Like, it's not gonna get fancier than that. There's no suspense. It's save the world from bigger lizard."
That is exactly why people shit on that game so much, is because especially Monster Hunter World, the one that I played, because everybody had a copy of it and everybody wanted to get in on it and made parties and stuff, especially compared to the other ones that were a little bit less, like not so many people played them. World was very much player driven. You would get little chunks of story here and there, but it was really about hunting monsters and getting your equipment and whatever. Wilds, from what I've experienced of it, has been a lot more narrative driven. It's been a lot more, it kind of in that way. And then the normal stuff that you expect the whole game to be doesn't really happen until kind of like post story. Now, I have not played much of it, but I know that I've heard that a lot from people, and especially big fans of Monster Hunter World have been like, it completely betrays like the skill expression that is in Monster Hunter, and the just agency of the player in general, not just during cutscenes, but during the entire game. And to call back to like another issue that people have, and this is with fighting games, is people thought that was going to happen with modern controls in Street Fighter 6. That it was like that people were not going to be playing 6-button Street Fighter anymore. It was going to be super easy. But that's not what happened. But the thing is, the whole thing with Monster Hunter is very much more covert in the way it's happening.
Yeah, over the years, just watching the very fine-tuned, and I say fine-tuned, it's Monster Hunter's been very wonky, but it's always rewarded player knowledge and player skill. It's like, not to overextend. And now Monster Hunter has become more diluted in the sense that it's like, if you overextend, it's okay. You can cancel into your wire bug arts, and all of a sudden now you have an invincible counter that will actually resharpen your weapon and give you a damage boost for the next 60 seconds. And it's like, all right, well, it does take that skill expression out in a lot of ways because it has diluted the core of the gameplay. I don't know. It was very knowledge based before, and I definitely preferred that.
First game I ever noticed do the walk and talk, it'll have to be 2. It was Red Dead Redemption, and and Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay, yeah. I noticed it first with probably Gears of War.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's right. The
Yeah, that's a good
beginnings.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about Gears of War being one. Holy shit. But yeah, you're right. Like at the beginning, at the beginning of levels, as you're like chilling with your guys, you're like walking, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta go do this," and you can't go any faster than like a slight.
Yeah, and it happens a lot in those games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got like his fingers to his ear for the comm, and it's just walking through some decrepit office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And those games would probably be better if there was none of that, and it was just like a straight corridor shooter, and it just never ended. If it was just like,
Oh yeah,
like I played Halo Infinite. Real quick, stupid story, but I played Halo Infinite with a buddy. We did co-op, and it was like the combat was really fun, and it was like it was cool. It was like Halo, and it was like you would go into this like bunker, and it was like it was like Halo 1 all of a sudden. You're shooting your way through these aliens. And it was like fun, but then it would stop, and it'd be like, all right, now you got to bring up your map, and then you got to go to this other place, and it's like, well, why? Why isn't it just one long corridor for 6 hours where we're just like battling our way through? Like, the fun part is the combat. Like, what asshole came in and said this needs to be an open world game, and we should be traveling around a map? Like, who wants to do this?
Or like the set
everything's
piece.
an open world, man.
Yeah.
Right.
The new Metroid.
Got to be open world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like why? Stop doing that.
It's because it tacks on game time. That's why.
Yeah.
Mario Kart open world.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do.
Oh my God, dude! That decision right there will confuse me. I mean, it doesn't confuse me because it's all about money. It's all about the fact that you sell people a 500-hour game and then sell it to them for $100. And they'll be happy. It'll get a good grade because it's not short. And being short is like, I will never understand the fact that so many people get so upset over a 45-minute game. I would rather have a 45-minute game than a 300-hour game, because a 45-minute game I can play over and over and over and over and over again. That 300-hour game I'm going to play one time.
I have friends who cannot fathom or wrap their minds around the fact that I will play a game that has quote unquote 25 minutes of content for so long. Mm-hmm. Like a shmup that just has like, it's just like, I could never put that many hours into a game that only has 25 minutes of content. And I'm like, you're thinking about it wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're thinking about it like it needs to be an unfolding story or like shitloads of side quests that are all, it's not 25 minutes of content. Like, I don't know.
The story is you.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I don't even know how to articulate like why that's a wrong way to look at it to them, And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I'm crazy. I've lost my mind. I put a lot of hours into Kitsui. I don't know.
But I remember that's a lot how my wife saw shmups whenever I first started doing this.
Oh, interesting.
I was tired of gaming. I kind of stopped gaming other than fighting games. And then started playing shmups and watching Mark and watching you and watching Spiders and, just kind of like unfolding the community as it went down. And she was like, okay, so this is just a phase. It'll be arcade games for a week and then it'll be done. And then I think there was one day where I sat her down and I was like, pick up the controller. You're going to play with me. And it was like me talking about how deep they are. That like it's kind of like the as big as the ocean, shallow as a pond, but like the opposite of that. So
right.
So it's tiny, but it's infinite.
Right.
And that really opened her up to like understanding why, and not just that, but wanting to play as well.
Yeah. But that is just it. It's like it's not just 25 minutes, dude. It's
it's forever.
Yeah,
it fucking is, dude. It's like even if you cleared a game, dude, it's like, well, maybe there's a 2-all, like or there's like the score, like that number like never stops in a lot of games. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't know. People see a lot and I think honestly, dude, and I hate to say it, I hate to use like the term normie or something like that because I always feel like that's like a like a slur or something, but like a lot of people have been groomed to see video games as like content consumption.
Agreed.
Definitely by design.
Yeah, and that's the bummer, I think.
So, do you game with your significant other?
Yes. That's actually so since she lives up in Canada, that's actually one of the better ways that we can spend our time together. We just we'll play things in the Switch Online titles. We'll go find some co-op thing to do together, and she actually began to get a little bit more into older games through that because we played through Wild Guns when I
What a great
visit her.
game! What a great game!
It's such a good game.
That's rad.
It's just got such a nice back and forth for co-op because you can have it where you have memorized when a boss is going to do something, and so somebody will be charging up the stun lasso, and you're playing off of each other with the bombs and stuff. And I definitely think that that's kind of what
We share lives too, right?
you do, which is in some ways unfortunate. Like it's nice because when she dies before me, I'm not too far behind her.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be playing for half an hour without her, like if we were to have our own lives. But in some ways, it's kind of a bit of a pain too. Just because runs can end a little bit faster that way. I wish I could give my lives to her if we weren't having a shared pool.
That's really sweet, actually. the way you said that. No, so you would say that if you had to sit down with a significant other, arcade games would kind of be the way to go, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just because, like other people in the community have said, they don't really waste your time. You're not out exploring a giant world and getting lost and going through cutscenes. You're in the thick of it playing a game. And even if you are having a great time, or you're just figuring out the routing, or you're literally swearing at each other because somebody used up all the resources, like it's personal.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's you get to make your own story.
Yeah. I mean, like you guys have said when talking about runs and drama, when you have a second person, when you're sweating the clear together, I think bonds are made, stories are made. I definitely have some moments with her, and especially just recordings we've just taken of some of our funniest moments playing like Pop and Twin B together, and just chain dying and yelling at each other. It's so much fun.
What a great game, by the way.
It really is. It's something that I definitely want to talk about once I have that second channel up and running. Because it's got a mode in it specifically for two-player. They call it couple mode. And so what it actually does is it targets the first player, whoever is Twin B, with the majority of the bullets. And so that means 2P is actually more free to take care of things like ground enemies or pick up bells or like farm them to turn them into bombs and things like that. So in a way where it's like, even though only one player is being targeted, it doesn't make it boring. It gives the second player an entirely new set of jobs that they have access to that they wouldn't otherwise be able to engage with.
That cart, I have it around here somewhere. I really should have pulled it out. I will regularly listen to the stage 1 music of that fucking game over and over and over and over again. Actually, what's weird, the composer of that would go on to compose Symphony of the Night.
Oh, interesting. Wow, did not know that.
I feel like I know Homie's name too.
I know. I can't think of her name. It is a her. I cannot think of her name. I know that she did the soundtrack to, oh my gosh, that one game with the possum with the jetpack.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, not Sonic the Hedgehog. It was on the Sega Genesis. Oh man.
Oh, I have it.
Sparks.
Rocket Knight.
Rocket Knight. Yes, she did.
Rocket Knight Adventure.
She did Rocket Knight, and then she also did Castlevania Bloodlines. You know who she did them with, though? She had a collaborator, Akira Yamaoka, from Silent Hill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that is my useless game knowledge with Sam.
That's great.
That's what my ass is here for. Yeah. So I know that a lot of people have issues when it comes to gaming with a family or gaming with a significant other. I know that is a lot of people's like hang up. Is kind of trying to figure that out, or trying to make time, or trying to figure out like what each other like, or trying to, find a game. And that's why, like you, I like to recommend arcade games. Because even though they might be antiquated or whatever, they can lend to long play sessions, short play sessions, stressful, relaxing. I mean, they can literally be whatever you want them to be. The only other kind of game that I would recommend other than arcade games that would be just as good, and this goes back to Snatcher as well, is visual novels. And that's only because they're very much like movies. But they require choice.
So would you be ideally making choices together in a sense in order to direct the story?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so. Kind of like how you work together in the like 2-player mode, the protect mode in Popping Twinbee. Like you guys both have to kind of work together.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah, because I know that the game that got my wife into shmups was Angel at Dusk. Because it was gross and fucking...
Because it's gnarly.
Yeah.
And Halloween-y. Like, she was so happy as I was recording some gameplay footage earlier where she was like, I fucking love this game. You better leave all the titties in. I remember me and my wife were watching your Rayforce video, and when you said dick blood like 2 or 3 times, I swear to fucking God, I used it for like a week in normal conversation.
I was gonna fucking say the same thing. Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, I just think that's so funny, calling somebody dick blood. Fuck you, dick blood. What? The fuck? What did that guy just call me?
Like, I already laughed the first time.
Yeah.
But the second one rolls around, and I'm like, surely he's not going to do it again.
Surely.
And the third time, I was just dying. Oh my God.
Oh my God, when you're talking shit to the fucking the fucking like armored dude, like the second to last boss, I think the guy that's like, he's got like all the different pieces, and you're like, I'm gonna point blank this fucking guy in the face. Yeah, how you fucking like that? I think it's the fact that you are. I'm thinking in my head, because I didn't know you very well when you first, but I still knew you. I'm thinking in my head that you're sitting mic'd up, watching a replay of yourself, also talking shit to the guy, and like, I don't know. It was,
I died a lot.
It was.
I died a lot to these fuckers, dude. Like you get to the point where it's personal, and you're like, yeah, you like that? You fuck.
I have pent up rage during this guy that even watching a replay of myself.
Yeah.
Fucking facing this
fuck
guy.
This guy, dude. Yeah. Yeah. No, but seriously, like at a certain point, it does get like kind of personal.
I think you're right.
I'll kill an enemy sometimes, and I'll be like, "Yeah, fucker," Like, you know, like my neighbors probably think I'm nuts because I sometimes, like, if I like, when I killed the first time I killed Blackheart 2, I was like, fuck you, I'm alive and you're not. Dude, like, I was fucking, I was amped.
Fuck
I was
Blackheart.
amped up. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, I think the funniest part to me was like that yeah, how do you like that? How you like that? Yeah, now I can just watch a video of you dying over and over again. Yeah, how you like that shit?
Yeah. Like, get him back. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, you know, if you go forth and make videos, like, you might get into the point where, like, you start getting into your own head about because, like, what you guys are talking about right now, I often feel like that's me. I often feel like, dude, am I the guy who's, like, hanging out and, like, you know, kind of doing a disservice to this sacred sort of thing of ours, you know? Like, like, eventually, like, you start to question, or at least I start to question, like, myself, and, like, you know, like, am I painting people as, you know, maybe, you know, not in a good light just because I made a joke or whatever. Like, is this too much? Is that because there was one video I made, like, as an example, like I said, like, I was like, there was footage of, like, the last boss of Galuda, and it was like, and I think the line was like, "This is the only moment in your life that will ever mean anything." and then but really, that's I lifted it from the Taxi Driver trailer, and then I started thinking, like, gee, that maybe that's shitty. Like, I'm telling people this is the only moment in their life that's ever, but that's not what I was doing. It was just, it was kind of, like, jokey.
Yeah.
And so, like, sometimes I get into my own head about, like, things, and it's like, I don't know. It's a hard thing.
I definitely, at least when I put out comments on those videos, I can hear when you get into your own head, because I feel like you kind of let it out sometimes, and
Oh yeah.
You just got to stick to your guns, because I mean, the people that would be put off by that, they probably weren't sticking around anyway. Like, it's obviously
Right,
just
yeah.
a little wink and a nod, and I don't know, we're all here to have fun, so I don't think
Exactly,
that it's
yeah.
worth
Yeah.
people sweating so much about a lot of things, you know.
So
Yeah.
so speaking of that, Kirby, that was another thing I wanted to get to the touch on was your two channels, right? So you have if you could tell us about those.
So the first one, that's just going to be a channel for me. I figured that because I'm going to be using probably copyrighted music and doing whatever I want, I'm just going to branch out and make something separate. So if for some reason I get taken down, I don't just lose my main channel. I've just got my crap saved too. So that one's going to be Psychromancer. The only thing I'm going to use it for is just whatever's in my head. So I've just got a lot of ideas bouncing around, and I really just want to use it as a creative outlet. I don't imagine myself as much of a content creator, because what I want to put out there, it's going to be, it's going to be definitely partly for the community, but it's not going to be trying to gain any kind of YouTube fame or anything like that. So hopefully, some of the people that check this out would want to, swing by and subscribe or something like that. Like, I don't know. Hopefully I can put out something pretty good. I've got a demo video in the works. So if people come and see that, hopefully they can check out what I put out while I experiment with learning how to edit.
Hell yeah.
And the second channel is going to be, I guess, in some ways like a main channel, but it's co-op dependent, and it's just going to be focused on the way that co-op can really change the game design of things. At least that's the idea for it right now. And so, like how it is with Twin Bee, where you can kind of adapt to different roles just by changing the setting for couple mode or something like that, or maybe how the routing changes in a shmup because of the way that it prioritizes aim bullets, or I've been looking to get into beat 'em ups, and so I think it would be a really good excuse to have other people that are more knowledgeable about other games on the channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody wanted, like, it's like, oh, this is my favorite beat 'em up, or whatever, just hop on Fightcade and go and have them show me the ropes, teach me the game, and ask them for their opinion on how different it feels playing it alone versus playing it together and how it changes the mechanics and stuff like that. I just think that it's really good for breeding relationships. So I don't know. I kind of want to do what you guys are doing here, where anyone can be a part of it, really.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely community led. I really like both of those ideas, and both of those will be linked in the description as well if you want to check them out. Fight and Rage is me and my wife's favorite beat 'em up to play.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever played that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. It is so awesome.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things I really like about shmups. I really like about all the games that you want to cover on your channel, Kirby, is because they're not trying to like gamble your money. Like most of these games, you can either get for super cheap, or you can get for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it cultivates this really pure, like community of not even talking about community like us, but just community of players that are actually wanting to play the game, not because it's like FOMO, not because it's got like it's in people's ears. My 17-year-old son was streaming Cho and Shaw a couple days ago, and I'm like, you're gonna get 0 viewers, and he's like, I don't care, I'm fucking having fun right now. And I was like, man, if only I could do that to every 17-year-old streamer out there,
The whole gaming industry would collapse.
Dude, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would, because people would realize that there's actually something to it, I think.
Yeah.
And that...
Yeah, and it's like the biggest entertainment industry that mankind has ever known, by the way, is like the video game industry. Mm-hmm. And it's a fucking house of cards, which is really... kind of funny. Like I think already it's collapsing, right? Like I don't pay attention to the news and stuff, but like I keep hearing that like studio after studio is like shutting down, and like I don't it's all sort of going away.
Well, because like when you make a game anymore, you can't just like have the dev make the game and then the dev moves on to a different game. You have to make the game, then the dev moves on to a different game, but not before he splits his team in half to stay on the old game, so he can keep updating the old game, right? And then you go with half the team, and so that game is still, like sucking money out of the company, right? And then they need money for a new game, and that game's got to be bigger and better, right? So it needs twice the budget. I mean, what was it? We were talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth last podcast, so I'll use a different example this time. I think it was, oh my God, what was it? It was some game either earlier this year or last year that sold like 2 or 3 million copies, right? And then I was reading a financial report that it still lost like $400 or $500 million.
Yeah. Well, the new GTA is it true the new GTA cost $1 billion to make?
Yeah, it $600 million in dev costs, and then they're thinking about $400 million for marketing and like upkeep. Yeah.
So I've been playing Kaikan, and it cost $2, and it was so much fun.
I literally went and bought it after your video. There was a sale where I got all of the devs games for like $5.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. Zarketta Z
really
is really good too.
Yeah, that's one I haven't played. I haven't played that.
That's so good. It's kind of like if that game also had a baby with Compile, because it's
cool.
very Alest coded.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a future video topic.
Okay.
One of the videos that I really want to make is going to be about Sisyphus, if you know the Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, not a whole lot of people know about Sisyphus before he pushes the boulder up the hill. But long story short, he was a king that was constantly outwitting and outmaneuvering the gods. Even in death, he was able to come back and cheat and gain back his life and then keep going again. And that's why they punished him. And so I really wanted to make a video about pushing through those human limits. I'm like a huge philosophy nerd in a lot of ways. Okay, and cool. So there's a French philosopher by the name of Albert Camus that wrote a paper about Sisyphus being what he calls an absurd hero. Basically, that our lives are all meaningless, but imagining Sisyphus, who also is doomed to an eternal meaningless task, imagining him happy is essentially the solution to nihilism. And so what I really wanted to touch on is you have this guy that is constantly outwitting the impossible. He is literally going against gods in order to achieve something great. And even when doomed to doing the same thing over and over, you can imagine him taking pride in his failure to push this boulder up the hill. And I wanted to, at the end of the video, put on the screen, Sisyphus threatens gods. And if you look at the acronym, it's STG. I really want to turn that into a shirt at some point.
That's
good.
awesome.
That's good,
That's
bro.
really good.
Dude, that's good. Kirby, that's good.
I would like to thank both of my guests, Kirby of the Stars and the Hidden Fortress, for doing this. Both are amazing creators and beautiful people. Thank you for tuning into the second episode of the No Miss Podcast, and we'll see you again very soon.